Take the risk or lose the chance. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a quiet moment in every life when opportunity knocks not loudly, not dramatically, but softly. Risk is not the enemy. Regret is. Think about it. Years from now, you will not be haunted by the risks you took and failed at. You will be haunted by the chances you never took, the words you never spoke, the dreams you never dared to chase. Failure may bruise your ego, but regret scars your soul. Every success story you admire was once a terrifying decision. Every leader you respect once stood where you stand, unsure, afraid, but willing. They did not wait for perfect timing, perfect confidence, or perfect certainty. They moved forward despite doubt. They trusted growth more than comfort. Risk is the price of admission to a meaningful life. Yes, you might fall. Yes, you might stumble. But listen closely. Falling is not failing. Staying down is. Each setback sharpens you. Each mistake teaches you. Each risk expands your limits and rewrites what you believe is possible. The truth is, fear will never disappear. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision that something else matters more. Your purpose matters more. Your future matters more. Your potential matters more. Do not shrink yourself to fit places you've outgrown. Do not dim your light because others are comfortable in the dark. You were not created to merely survive, you were created to rise, to stretch, to become. Life rewards those who show up fully, those who leap before they are ready, those who choose action over excuses, those who understand that waiting for certainty is the fastest way to lose opportunity. Take the risk to speak up. Take the risk to start again. Take the risk to believe in yourself when no one else does. Take the risk to chase what sets your soul on fire. Because every chance you take builds confidence. Every step forward builds momentum. And one bold decision can change the entire direction of your life. So today, choose bravery over fear. Choose growth over comfort. Choose possibility over doubt. Here is the truth most people never accept. Waiting feels safe, but it slowly steals your future. Growth demands discomfort. Every new level of strength, success, and self-belief is unlocked by risk. You don't discover how powerful you are by avoiding challenges, you discover it by facing them head-on. Pressure does not break you, it reveals you. Think about how many dreams die quietly, not because people failed, but because they never tried. Not because they weren't capable, but because they were afraid of what might go wrong. Fear is a convincing liar. It promises protection, but it delivers regret. You were not meant to live a life of what if. What if I tried? What if I failed? What if I succeeded? That last question scares people the most because success demands responsibility. It demands change. It demands stepping into a version of yourself that no longer hides. Risk is not recklessness. Risk is faith in motion. It is believing that even if things don't go as planned, you will rise wiser, stronger, and more prepared than before. Every setback carries a lesson. Every failure sharpens your vision. Every attempt moves you closer than standing still ever will. Comfort is seductive, but it is dangerous. It whispers that tomorrow is guaranteed. It convinces you that you have time, but tomorrow is never promised, and time only respects those who act. The people who change their lives are not the most confident. They are the most committed. They move forward while doubting. They take action while afraid. They bet on themselves even when the odds feel heavy. Take the risk to be seen. Take the risk to be different. Take the risk to walk away from what no longer fits. Take the risk to chase what feels bigger than you. Because the moment you choose courage, everything shifts. Confidence grows from action. Strength grows from struggle. Purpose grows from pursuit. You don't need permission. You don't need perfection. You don't need guarantees. You need decision. Decide that your future matters more than your fear. Decide that your potential is worth the risk. Decide that you will no longer trade your dreams for comfort. Stand up. Step forward. Leap before you're ready. Because life does not reward those who wait. It rewards those who dare. Fear will try to convince you that you're not ready, not skilled enough, not strong enough. But fear has never been a reliable judge of potential. If you waited until you felt fearless, you would wait forever. Growth does not begin with confidence. Confidence is born from courage in motion. Risk is the doorway to becoming more. Every time you avoid a risk, you reinforce the limits you hate. Every time you step into uncertainty, you expand your identity. The people who rise are not braver than you. They simply refuse to let fear make their choices. Understand this. Playing it safe is still a risk. The risk of a wasted life. The risk of untapped talent. The risk of never discovering how powerful you truly are. You were not created to blend in. You were created to stand up, stand out, and step forward. Your dreams were not placed in your heart to tease you. They were placed there to be pursued. But dreams demand boldness. They demand sacrifice. They demand that you let go of who you've been to become who you're meant to be. Yes, you may fail. But failure is not the opposite of success. Inaction is. Failure teaches you. Inaction traps you. Failure builds resilience. Inaction builds regret. The strongest people you admire once doubted themselves. The success you desire once felt impossible to someone else. The difference? They moved anyway. Take the risk when your voice shakes. Take the risk when the outcome is unclear. Take the risk when others don't understand your vision. Take the risk when the only thing you have is belief. Because belief plus action changes everything. Do not wait for approval. Do not wait for the perfect plan. Do not wait for confidence to magically appear. The moment you take that first step, confidence follows. Momentum follows. Transformation follows. Your future is listening to what you do today. So choose courage over comfort. Choose action over excuses. Choose growth over fear. Stand tall in uncertainty. Walk boldly into the unknown. Trust that even if the path is difficult, it is shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and unstoppable. The hardest truth to accept is this: nothing changes until you do. Fear will always give you reasons to stay where you are. It will remind you of past failures, magnify your doubts, and whisper that you are not enough. But fear is not a stop sign, it is a signal that you are close to something meaningful. If it doesn't scare you a little, it won't change you. Every level of growth requires a new version of you. The old habits, the old mindset, the old comfort must be shed. Growth is uncomfortable because transformation always is. A seed must break to become a tree. Pressure is not punishment, it is preparation. The world does not reward potential. It rewards courage in action. You may not see the full path ahead, and that is okay. You only need to see the next step. Clarity comes from movement, not from waiting. Strength comes from effort, not from wishing. You become capable by doing the things you once thought you couldn't. Most people don't fail because they tried and lost. They fail because they never started. They choose safety and call it wisdom. But deep down, they know the truth. They traded their dreams for comfort. Do not make that trade. Take the risk to leave what is familiar. Take the risk to chase what feels impossible. Take the risk to believe that you are more than your past. Take the risk to rise, even when no one is cheering, because every bold move you make builds self-respect. Every brave choice strengthens your identity. Every risk taken is proof that you trust yourself. And when life tests you, and it will remember this, resilience is built in the moments you refuse to quit. You are not defined by how many times you fall, but by how many times you stand back up and move forward. Your dreams are not too big. Your fear is just loud. Silence it with action. Step into uncertainty with your head high and your heart steady. Let effort replace excuses. Let courage replace hesitation. Let growth replace fear. Yet fear stands between you and that fire, asking, what if you fail? Ask a better question. What if I don't try? Because not trying is the slowest way to lose yourself. You were not meant to live a life of almosts, almost brave, almost successful, almost fulfilled. Almost is the enemy of becoming. Great lives are built by people who dared to be uncomfortable, who chose uncertainty over stagnation, who understood that risk is the currency of growth. The comfort you're protecting today may be the prison you regret tomorrow. Every time you choose safety over courage, you shrink your world. But every time you choose risk, your world expands. New skills, new strength, new belief. You evolve not by thinking about change, but by stepping into it. The path forward will challenge you. It will expose your weaknesses and test your resolve. But it will also reveal a strength you didn't know you had. You don't become fearless, you become stronger than your fear. Remember this: the people who inspire you are not special. They are simply decisive. They chose to act while afraid. They chose to bet on themselves when the outcome was unclear. They chose progress over perfection. So stop waiting to feel ready. Ready is a myth. Action creates readiness. Take the risk to fail forward. Take the risk to outgrow who you were. Take the risk to be judged for trying. Take the risk to build a life you're proud of. Because every step you take rewrites your story. Every bold move chips away at doubt. Every risk taken is a declaration: I believe in my future. Life is not asking for perfection. It is asking for participation. Show up fully. Show up boldly. Show up willing to try again. Do not let fear decide the shape of your life. Stand in your power. Trust the process. Move even when the ground feels uncertain beneath your feet. At some point, you must decide whether you are going to let fear write your story or whether you will take the pen yourself. Because life is not shaped by intentions, hopes, or wishes. It is shaped by decisions. Every day you hesitate, opportunity quietly passes by. Not with anger, not with warning, just with silence. And silence is dangerous because it makes missed chances easy to ignore until it's too late. The truth is simple but uncomfortable. Nothing extraordinary comes from ordinary choices. Risk is the dividing line between who you are and who you could become. On one side is familiarity, on the other is possibility, and you cannot stand on the line forever. Eventually, life forces a choice: move forward or remain where you are. Fear will always point out what you could lose, but courage asks a better question: what could I gain? Strength, confidence, purpose, a future shaped by intention, not accident. You don't need to be fearless. You need to be faithful to your vision, your values, and your potential. Faith is stepping forward without guarantees, trusting that effort will meet opportunity. Most people underestimate what one brave decision can do. One conversation can change your direction. One attempt can unlock a new path. One risk can redefine your entire identity. So, take the risk to start before you're ready. Take the risk to be uncomfortable for something better. Take the risk to disappoint others instead of disappointing yourself. Take the risk to become visible in a world that rewards boldness. Because every time you choose courage, you strengthen the part of you that refuses to settle. And every time you act despite fear, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than doubt ever suggested. Do not confuse patience with procrastination. Waiting too long can cost you everything you hoped to protect. Life is happening now, not later, not someday. Step forward with conviction. Let effort replace hesitation. Let growth replace fear. The greatest battle you will ever fight is not against the world. It is against the voice inside you that says, stay where you are. That voice sounds reasonable. It sounds protective. But it is the same voice that keeps dreams buried and potential asleep. You don't rise by waiting. You rise by choosing. Every meaningful step forward feels uncertain at first. If it feels uncomfortable, that's because you're growing. If it feels scary, that's because it matters. Fear does not mean stop, it means you are standing at the edge of change. Too many people mistake safety for success. They settle for predictable days and quiet dissatisfaction, telling themselves it's enough. But deep down, they feel the ache of unused potential. That ache is your calling. You were not designed for a small life. Risk is not about being reckless. It's about being intentional. It's about deciding that your future deserves more than your fear. It's about understanding that courage is a skill, and like any skill, it grows with use. Every time you take a risk, you train yourself to believe. Every time you fail forward, you become stronger. Every time you try again, you build resilience. And resilience is the foundation of greatness. Stop measuring your readiness by your comfort. Comfort lies. Growth tells the truth. Growth demands that you step forward before you feel capable, and then shows you that you were capable all along. Take the risk to break old patterns. Take the risk to speak when silence is easier. Take the risk to pursue what scares and excites you. Take the risk to choose progress over approval, because approval fades. Progress lasts. The world doesn't need a safer version of you. It needs the real one, the one who dares, who tries, who refuses to live half a life, the one who understands that fear is temporary, but regret can last forever. You will never know how far you can go until you push past where you are. So stand up in the presence of doubt. Move forward even when the path isn't clear. Trust that every step you take is shaping you into someone stronger than yesterday. Take the risk or lose the chance. There is a moment in every life when excuses run out and truth stands in front of you. The truth is this: you already know what you need to do. You've known it for a long time. The only question left is whether you will act on it. Dreams do not fade because they are impossible. They fade because they are postponed. Fear convinces you that later is safer than now, but later turns into years, and years turn into regret. Opportunity does not wait for confidence, it waits for courage. And courage is choosing action while your heart is still racing. You are stronger than the doubt you entertain. Risk will demand something from you: your comfort, your certainty, your old identity. But in return, it gives you growth, perspective, power, the kind of strength that can only be earned by stepping into uncertainty. You don't become bold by thinking about boldness. You become bold by acting despite fear. Look at your life honestly. Where have you been playing small? Where have you been choosing familiar pain over unfamiliar possibility? Staying where you are may feel safe, but it is quietly costing you the life you want. Take the risk to stop waiting for permission. Take the risk to fail and learn. Take the risk to stand alone if necessary. Take the risk to become who you've always imagined. Because the cost of growth is temporary. The cost of regret is permanent. The world is shaped by people who act when others hesitate. People who refuse to let fear have the final word. People who understand that bravery is not loud, it is consistent. You don't need more time. You don't need more validation. You don't need perfect conditions. You need a decision. Decide that fear will no longer be in control. Decide that your future is worth the risk. Decide that today is the day you move. Step forward with intention. Let action silence doubt. Let effort build belief. Let courage become your habit. Fear will always ask you to protect what you have. Courage asks you to fight for what you could become. Every opportunity you admire in others once felt terrifying to them. They doubted, they hesitated, but they moved anyway. And movement changed them. That is the secret most people never learn. You don't become confident and then act. You act. And confidence is built in the process. Staying still feels safe, but safety has a cost. It costs growth. It costs momentum. It costs the future you secretly want. And one day, the weight of staying the same becomes heavier than the fear of change. That is the moment you must choose. Risk is not about winning every time. It's about refusing to live a life defined by fear. It's about understanding that even if you fall forward wiser, sharper, and more prepared. You were never meant to live on the sidelines of your own life. Take the risk to step into uncertainty. Take the risk to trust your instincts. Take the risk to be seen trying. Take the risk to rise after you fall. Because each step you take expands your identity. Each challenge you face strengthens your character. Each risk you accept teaches you that fear is survivable and temporary. Do not let fear convince you that failure is final. Failure is feedback. Quitting is final. The world changes for those who act with intention. Those who refuse to let doubt decide their destiny. Those who understand that growth requires sacrifice, and sacrifice builds greatness. You are closer than you think. One decision away, one step away, one risk away from a life that feels aligned, purposeful, and real. So step forward before you feel ready. Trust the process before you see the results. Move even when your voice shakes. At the edge of every meaningful life is a moment of uncertainty, a moment where you either step forward or retreat into what you already know. That moment defines more than the choice itself. It defines who you become. Fear speaks loudly, but it has never built anything worth remembering. You were not meant to live a life ruled by caution. You were meant to explore your limits, to test your strength, to discover how far your courage can carry you. The unknown is not your enemy, it is your invitation. Risk is where growth begins. Every dream that matters asks the same question. Are you willing to be uncomfortable for something greater? Because comfort preserves who you are, but risk creates who you will be. The most painful regret is not failure. It is the realization that you stayed silent when you should have spoken, stayed still when you should have moved, stayed safe when you should have dared. Take the risk to challenge the version of you that doubts. Take the risk to walk away from fear disguised as logic. Take the risk to choose faith over certainty. Take the risk to build a life that reflects your courage. You do not need permission to become more. You need resolve. Every step into uncertainty sharpens your vision. Every setback builds resilience. Every attempt strengthens your belief that you can handle whatever comes next. Life does not demand perfection, it demands participation. And those who participate fully discover something powerful. Fear shrinks when faced, but confidence grows when earned. So stop negotiating with doubt. Stop delaying your destiny. Stop waiting for the moment to feel safe. The moment to act is now. Move forward with intention. Let courage lead where fear once ruled. Trust that even if the path is hard, it is shaping you into someone capable of greatness. Take the risk or lose the chance.